What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm starting my first thing of off-season content. I want to kind of start off by going in separate videos, going down each position group and just really kind of diving deep into it and what better place to start off than quarterback. This is off the website SpotTrack that gives you all the financial things that you need to know, like how many years we have them for, what they're going to be making each year, things of that nature. A couple things to explain right here. Obviously, this green thing here, undrafted free agent UFA, that would mean like Teddy Bridgewater, we don't have him locked up for 2023. We only signed him to a one-year deal last offseason, so if we don't re-sign him, he just walks outright. But as you see here, Tua has this little red line here. That's because he has a team option next year in 2024 because he was a first-round pick. All first-round picks have that for their fifth year. So, yeah, that's what that's about. So, with that in mind, I guess we could start with Teddy Bridgewater because, I mean, that's going to be the easiest thing. And I'm going to be talking about my, thoughts on our quarterback situation here. Whether I want to keep him and what I might want to do in the offseason at the quarterback position. So I'll start off with Teddy. Like I said, I'm not really trying to keep him. We signed him to a one-year deal for a reason. When he's had a hard time staying healthy himself, not just with us, but just throughout his career. I'm not really trying to keep him around. Maybe we can sign a number 2, but I don't think it's necessary. I think Skylar Thompson, after another year in training camp and the offseason program and everything like that, I think he can be a more than viable number 2. So I'd be okay with letting Teddy go. I wouldn't mind picking up like a third quarterback, maybe as an undrafted free agent, and kind of just helping them develop. I mean, that could be a thing. So I'm not really trying to keep Teddy. I could see somebody wanting to sign a veteran quarterback to kind of help Tua and Skylar kind of develop and everything like that. I can see that perspective, but it's not necessarily what I would want to do. Because to get a veteran quarterback as a backup, you're probably going to have to pay him a decent chunk, and I think we could use that money elsewhere. I mean, Skylar Thompson is pretty cheap for the next 3 years, and I think he is a viable enough backup. And I think if Mike McDaniel adapted the playbook a little bit better to Skylar, I think we could have had more success with him than we did. And like I said, I think another year in the system I think will help him a lot. And another year with Darrell Bevel, hopefully, assuming that he doesn't take an offensive line position elsewhere, which I don't think he will at this point if he's already declined 2 offensive coordinator positions. So yeah. I mean, Skylar Thompson, I mean, he was very promising in the preseason, and I liked him a lot in college. As a 7th-round pick, I really liked it when we took him. And like I said, his contract is very cheap. So I am more than happy with him being our number 2 and after another year in the system. Tua, I'm not really in a big rush to pay him. He had a hard time staying healthy this year. And toward the end of the year, his play kind of fell apart with the rest of the offense. It wasn't all on him. The receivers and him weren't on the same page. We had a lot of drops. And Mike McDaniel's play calling also wasn't that great at the end of the year. So it's not all on Tua. But I do want to see him have at least another year of hopefully being able to stay healthy the whole season and having more consistent play throughout the year before we really try to pay him. Because keep in mind, like I said, we do have this one-year team option in 2024 if we really need to keep him for a 5th year. So, I mean, I really want to see how much he can develop as well in year 2 of Mike McDaniel's system. Like I said, I think Skylar Thompson will really improve, but Tua can really improve. So that's kind of my thought. And $9 million for a starting quarterback is, well, almost 10, is actually pretty damn cheap. So, like I said, we do have him for relatively cheap. So, yeah. I mean, Tua played pretty well for the most part this year, I think. Especially in the early parts of the year. Like, he overcame a lot. Like, we would shoot ourselves in the foot with stupid penalties, blown pass protection that would result in a huge sack, and we'd end up in, like, 3rd and long situations, and he would bail us out a lot. But unfortunately, teams kind of adapted to what we were doing, which was throwing the ball deep down the field, and they started keeping linebackers back in the coverage. And we never really adapted to what they were doing. We kind of abandoned the run. Because, I mean, if you're going to have, 4 DBs in a 4 deep shell, you're going to have everybody back, and then you're going to drop your linebackers back, basically just leaving the 4 defensive linemen to blitz and, stop the run. The most logical thing to do is run the football, but we were abandoning the run in a lot of our games, even when it was working. So, I do want to see another year with Tua getting even better, Skyler getting even better, and Mike McDaniel also hopefully getting better. And like I said, I do think we should pick up another quarterback. You can argue, like I said, if you want to try to pick up a veteran quarterback to be our number 2 with Skyler staying as our number 3. I don't hate that idea depending on the price tag. But I also, if it were me, I think Skyler Thompson in year 2, I think will be a fine backup, especially if we improve this offensive line. And then just picking up an undrafted guy to be our number 3. Number 3 / practice squad guy. Because honestly, I don't really like the idea of having 3 quarterbacks on the active roster anyway. But Skyler Thompson flashed so much in the preseason that we just couldn't afford to put him on the practice squad because someone would have snatched him up immediately. And we obviously couldn't cut Teddy with the amount we were paying him. So, yeah. That's what that is. But, anyway, I think that's probably going to do it for this video. If you liked it, appreciate hitting that like button. Have any questions or comments in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.